Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. We've all seen some numbers as to what value robotaxis bring to Tesla. As Elon himself even said recently on the earnings call, they get nutty. It doesn't take long until you get into the trillions of dollars. Whether it's valuation, revenue, or even profit, it gets crazy. Yet we feel that this is going to be some time still, as Tesla still have lots and lots of EVs to produce. These EVs still make a tremendous amount of profit anyway, and it's important to get production of those ramped up for future profit. Robotaxis is nothing more than a pipe dream that Tesla Super Bulls like to bring up. Or is it? What if FSD is improving at such a rate that it's not far off robotaxi level already? Well, I say FSD, but I really only mean FSD beta, and only in the US. A company's actions are a lot louder than their words. We've seen Elon say robotaxis and FSD are coming soon. Since as early as the idea was initially introduced back in Autonomy Day, we've heard Elon often say FSD is close. Yet here we still are, 3 years later after Autonomy Day, still waiting for FSD and robotaxis. We would have expected Elon to have a more realistic timeline from when he initially spoke about robotaxis and predicted they might come into action. So why did he get it so wrong? Was it an attempt to support the stock price? Well, if so, it failed. Were these timelines given as an incentive to recruit people interested in autonomy and AI? Quite possibly. Or has it simply been said so many times that eventually loses all meaning and another way to simply sandbag the stock? Well, we've heard it's coming soon, perhaps too many times, that many start to doubt Elon's judgment on predicting timelines. Of course, in Elon's defense, dealing with exponentials does make it exceedingly difficult to make estimates. This time, on the earnings call, it did feel different though, didn't it? Elon seemed exceptionally more confident that FSD will be achieved sometime this year, to a level where it is safer than a human driver. Okay, he's more confident, so maybe there's a higher chance that FSD will reach this level this year. However, it's not so much Elon's confidence that makes me think this, as much as it is what Tesla are doing. Tesla have pivoted the company. Before this call, we were mainly looking to the future of Tesla as an EV company. They will make a lot of EVs and eventually offer more varieties, with hopefully a pickup truck version expected next year, then a year or two after that, a $25,000 compact Tesla, which was important as Tesla is such a coveted brand. It was a big deal that it would be made affordable to the masses. This compact Tesla was meant to be what really put Tesla on the map, a way for almost everyone to afford one. And then, on the side of that, we had FSD improving along the way, and maybe some sort of robotaxis business one day, when the technology is ready. Of course, there's the energy business on the side too. Tesla is pivoting away from this now, which is what I meant by Tesla's actions are louder than their words. Everything in the updated roadmap appears to be oriented around robotaxis. As in, from what I can tell, looking at Tesla, they're doing everything as fast as they can to have robotaxis operational. The US will be the first market, which is going to be huge. Hence where Tesla has this gigantic factory being built there. This is the factory that will build the robotaxis for the market. The US is the furthest ahead in FSD, and Elon expected about 80% of cars to be able to get cover with Tesla insurance before long in the US. This is why FSD and insurance are so important to work out in the US first, and why so many more cars and resources are being poured into the US. It is the first robotaxi market, and it's a big one. Everything is lined up to appear like Tesla's main target right now is getting robotaxis launched in the US. And like we're saying, when you look at the robotaxi numbers, they get nutty. Therefore, it makes perfect sense to aim for that trajectory. Everything the company is doing is pointing into the direction of making us as many robotaxis as possible, as quickly as possible for the US market. These are Tesla's actions. And perhaps Tesla seriously believe that they're going to achieve FSD and it can become 10 times safer than a human as early as next year. Everything is lined up for robotaxis. Tesla have tons of capital and income to go all in on this. Yet it's being funded by their customers anyway. Just like all the beta testing Tesla get is for free too, whereas the likes of Waymo have to pay for their beta testers. If Tesla and Elon think they are that close to FSD, then why would it not make sense to double down on robotaxis? Auto profits tower over everything right now, even FSD, let alone potential insurance profit or energy. Auto profits are going to be enormous because Tesla have such impressive margins and cars are such a large capital item. However, even those almighty auto profits will be dwarfed by the stellar profits capable from the hallowed robotaxi business. What a complete robotaxi network in the US would do for the stock price is anyone's guess though. But the US could reach $250 billion of gross profit through robotaxis at a rough guess. But we will delve deeper into the potential in future videos. Given the US is only about 4% of the world population, then it could be argued the robotaxi industry could be 25 times what it is in the US, i.e. $6 trillion a year. And it's possible less developed nations might use them even more per capita than the US too. The opportunity cost is much lower for these nations. Compare what transport you might have available in India compared to a robotaxi. It's a much bigger jump in standard of living than say someone in the US who may have previously owned a relatively new car in lieu of a robotaxi. This is why the numbers get nutty. This is why Tesla can keep making Model 3s and Ys for a really long time. And although that $6 trillion was gross profit, but even with a P ratio of 20, that takes Tesla to $120 trillion valuation. Okay, these are rough numbers and not my predictions. They are indicative only, but even if I am so much as 1/10 wrong, it's still worth holding onto your shares, and we can explore all of this in the future. And these robotaxis are just the private transport industry we're talking about too, not the likes of delivery or transport or semi-trucks. This is huge, but I believe part of the reason the semi-truck will take a backseat is because Tesla may be waiting for the humanoid bots to accompany them. Of course, the other reason is that the semi consumes so many batteries, and it's much more efficient and profitable to allocate these batteries to robotaxis for now. Tesla truly is a robotics company, not a car company. Tesla have been making the robots for years and growing the fleet. It's just all the software is not entirely ready yet. So I'm sorry if you're one of the consumers that is upset that they will not be able to get a $25,000 Tesla Compact, but that really has nothing to do with what we talk about. This channel is not from a consumer perspective, but from a company perspective. What is best for Tesla and the environment, rather than what consumers want. I'm talking to Tesla investors first, not Tesla consumers. Consumers were never entitled to a low-cost EV. Tesla will make low-cost electric autonomous transport for these consumers though. There may one day be a compact Tesla, but it won't be anything like we think. It won't be that big a deal. It won't be poised as the make or break of the next phase of Tesla. It will just be another entry of available styles that Tesla offer, added onto a list of many others at the time. The compact Tesla will not be the robotaxi. It will not be the mass-produced EV. The Model 3 and Y will be the mass-produced EVs and will serve as the robotaxis. I know there are lots of you trying to tell me that China or Europe need compact Teslas. Well, there can be other manufacturers to make them, maybe the Chinese. But most people do not need a compact Tesla. There's a difference between owning a compact car and using a compact car as a taxi. You don't need to park a taxi. It drops you off at your destination and picks you up again. Tesla are not interested, at least right now, in trying to make vehicles for all different market segments. Tesla is going extremely mainstream and covering robotaxis, nothing niche at all for now. And for those of you who are also telling me that we need Cybertruck as soon as possible to replace pickup trucks, well, you simply have not yet got your heads around it yet either. One robotaxi replaces 5 ICE cars. One Cybertruck replaces 1 ICE pickup truck. There are a lot of robotaxis to make for the time being. Any new model launch will simply result in fewer robotaxis being produced. But remember, as far as the mission is concerned, then a robotaxi is worth about 5 times as much as one Cybertruck. Therefore, why would you want to launch a new model that resulted in making fewer of your previous models, and the previous models were 5 times more valuable? This is just common sense, and obvious as I say it. But if you still have some sort of rebuttal about how people in India need affordable EVs, then you still do not get the mission. If you do not understand what Tesla are doing, then it makes it harder to invest and find the conviction when necessary. You have to get over the fact you may never have a compact Tesla, or possibly never a Cybertruck. Instead, be happy that you did invest in Tesla, and that because the compact and Cybertruck are not being released anytime soon, your stock will now be worth twice as much, possibly resulting in you being able to afford a Model 3 instead of a compact now anyway. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.